You're born in Suburra, Rome's festering underbelly. No crowd, no midwife, just your mother, biting down on a cloth to keep the screams quiet. You come into the world under a leaking roof, wrapped in a stolen curtain, with rats watching from the shadows, like curious little demons. No father in sight, maybe a soldier, maybe a senator, maybe just another nameless man who left faster than his lies. Your mother never says, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she does and chooses silence over shame. She works nights, scrubbing blood off marble in a brothel where names aren't spoken and stories end behind closed doors. You grow up learning to stay quiet, to stay small, to stay forgotten. You're 13 when it happens. It's late, the market's shutting down. You take the same shortcut you always do. Past the butcher's stall, past the men with rotting teeth and eyes that linger too long. One of them follows. You hear the footsteps behind you, then a hand. Grabbing, pulling. His breath hits your neck. Sour, thick, wrong. You freeze, but not for long. Your hand hits the ground. Searching. Fast. Blind. Fingers wrap around a broken tile half buried in the dirt. You swing. Hard. Once. Twice. Again. The sound it makes. Wet and final. The kind of sound that stays with you longer than his face. His skull gives in like old fruit, and suddenly there's no more struggling, just silence. You sit there, covered in him, breathing heavy, shaking. Then you look up. No one's watching. No one ever does. And in that moment, you stop being a child. Because in Rome, survival isn't something you learn. It's something you earn. You're 15. Not a kid anymore, not yet a man, just angry, fast, and invisible enough to matter. That's when you pull your crew together. 4 of you, each more broken than the last. There's Marco, an ex-gladiator with a limp and silence sharper than most blades. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, it's usually the last thing someone hears. Then there's Cassian, wiry, loud, always laughing like life's just one long joke no one else gets. Smart enough to scam senators, dumb enough to try. Then there's Brutus, a chubby kid who can't run fast, but swings a brick like he's born for it. And then there's you. Quiet, calculating. The one they look at when things go sideways. Your gang's nothing yet. Just shadows in alleys, slipping coins from drunks, whispering threats behind wine fumes. You call yourselves Umbre the Shadows? Not because it's cool. Because shadows survive. Because no one misses what they never saw coming. Rome watches, Rome listens, Rome remembers. But Rome also forgets, especially if you bribe the right temple or set fire to the wrong senator's stables. A merchant wants a rival's warehouse gone? Done. A corrupt praetor wants bones broken till votes fall his way? Done. A nobleman wants his daughter's lover gone because he wore the wrong sandals to dinner? You don't ask why. You just ask how deep to dig the hole. And the money flows. Fast. Warm. Louder than the screams echoing in the Tiber. You start wearing rings. Gold ones. Big ones. Not for pride, for signal. One glance at your hand and they know you're not some street rat with a blade. You're the man who owns Aventine after dark. By 17, the tavern girls whisper your name like it's a curse.
The Umbre. Don't meet his eyes. Don't meet his knife either.
Too late. Your eyes see everything. Even the things Romans pretend not to. But power doesn't rise alone. It brings enemies. And Titus Ferrata is the loudest one. A walking slab of meat and insecurity. Pretends he's noble. Everyone knows he grew up wrestling rats in the sewer and lost. He sends a message. 3 of your boys. Gutted. hung upside down outside the temple of Saturn, tongues nailed to their chests. Real creative, almost poetic. Except you're not into poetry. You don't cry. You don't bury them. You leave their corpses for the dogs, and then burn the nearest Ferrata safe house. No survivors, just ash and teeth. Then comes the blood season. Weeks of silence, broken by screams in alleyways, poisoned wine, missing kids, strangled lovers. Rome pretends it doesn't notice. The senators still throw orgies and argue about drainage systems, but the gutters run red, and even the gods look away. One night you're summoned, not by a rival, by a senator. He doesn't give his name. It just smells like a perfume bottle and old blood.
The games are coming. We want riots. Make it look like the people are rising. We'll handle the rest.
He slides a bag across the marble. Heavy. Warm. You nod, and just like that, you're no longer a gang. You're Rome's knife. You buy men, not loyalty, just rage. You feed them wine, lies, women, more lies. You tell them the Senate hates them. You say the gods have abandoned them. You promise them fire. And they deliver. Temples burn, shops shatter. A child gets trampled under a mob of angry drunks shouting about freedom. Whatever that means in a city built on slaves. You watch from a rooftop. The senator watches too, sipping wine like it's theater.
Beautiful, isn't it? Rome always rebuilds.
You think,
Not this time.
but you keep your mouth shut. Then the shaking starts. Not from guilt. Guilt's for poets and priests. It's the memory. You see your mother. Hands cracked from scrubbing blood off tavern floors, humming songs that didn't have names. You remember her death. Not by sickness, not by age, but by fire. Burned alive by a Ferrata torch, meant for you. She opened her mouth, but no scream came, just silence. You stop sleeping. Every knock sounds like betrayal. Every toast tastes like poison. You stop trusting your men. And why should you? You taught them to lie, to kill, to chase power like dogs chase carts. And now the dogs are hungry. Then, one day, you're 22. The same senator calls you again. No bag of coins, no wine, no smile, just chains. He says, Rome needs a villain, a story, someone to crucify, so the city can feel holy again. And guess what? You're perfect. They drag you to the forum. Mock trial. Paid witnesses. A confession read by a scribe who won't look at you. Probably still owes you money. You're sentenced to death. Not just death, a message. Crucifixion. Like a thief. Like a traitor. Like a nobody. They march you through the same streets you once ruled. The whores spit. The senators smile. Old enemies throw coins. Even one guy yells, "Should have picked plumbing!" Not wrong. They tie you to the cross. No nails. Not out of mercy, just to make it slower. You stare at the crowd. They stare back like you're already a ghost. You laugh. Not because it's funny, but because it's so Roman. And as the sun dies behind the hills, you whisper just one thing. Not a curse, not a prayer, just a name.
Umbre.
And somewhere, in the alleys of Sabura, a boy finds a rusted blade under a crate. Rome doesn't kill you. It waits. And then where's your face?